You are listening to the Global Slovakia podcast, sharing Slovakia's untold stories, hidden heritage, and cultural treasures with the world. Welcome to the Slovak Kitchen, where we peel back the layers of heritage one ingredient at a time. I'm Gabriela, and today we're digging, literally and metaphorically, into one of the most important foods in Slovakia, the potato, or as we say in Slovakia, zemiak. But wait. Depending on where you are, you might hear grula, bandurka, krumpla, švabka, ertepla, or even grunbeer. These aren't just regional quirks. They're a reflection of how deeply the potato rooted itself into Slovak soil and identity. The potato first arrived in Central Europe from South America in the late 1500s, but it didn't have the warmest welcome. People feared it. After all, it grows underground, in darkness, and in the mindset of medieval Europe, what grows beneath the surface was often seen as suspicious, even dangerous. There was a belief that food pointing up to the heavens was holy, but something growing downward, that was devil's food, and that suspicion had consequences. In England, there was even an incident where royal cooks mistakenly served the green poisonous part of the potato plant. The result? Several members of the royal family were poisoned, thankfully no fatalities. The panic was so intense that potatoes were banned in England for the next 100 years. But gradually, word spread, this humble tuber could end hunger. Monarchs across Europe, like Prussia's king, ordered their subjects to plant potatoes. In fact, those who refused could be punished by losing an ear or nose. In Slovakia, Empress Maria Theresa took a gentler approach. According to legend, she had her guards watch over potato fields to create curiosity and desire. If it's being guarded, surely it must be valuable, right? Eventually, people came around, and nowhere did the potato thrive more than in the mountainous northern regions of Slovakia. The soil was rocky, the climate was tough, grain often failed, but potatoes, they flourished. By the 18th century, Slovaks weren't just eating potatoes, they were relying on them. In fact, potatoes became known as druhý chlieb, second bread. They were easier to grow than grains, more dependable, and could be stored through the long, harsh winters. They were literally life-saving. The potato's resilience transformed Slovak life. Whole families would plant and harvest them by hand, a tradition that continued into the late 20th century. My own generation still remembers the communal effort, digging, heaping, storing. Everyone helped, and with every harvest came survival. But the potato wasn't just survival food, it was innovation. American Slovaks returning home in the late 1800s brought new farming techniques like planting potatoes in furrows behind the plow, revolutionizing agriculture for small-scale farmers. With higher yields came larger families, more children survived. But that boom came with a cost. There wasn't enough land to go around. And so, many Slovaks left for America, taking their potato-fed strength and their recipes with them. And here's where it gets even more interesting. Slovaks didn't just boil or mash their potatoes, they turned them into art. There are over 1,000 recorded dishes from northern Slovakia alone that use potatoes, from brinzové halušky, our national dish with sheep cheese and potato dough, to lokše, thin potato flatbreads served with roast goose or filled with jam and poppy seeds, and of course, zemiakové plaki, crispy potato pancakes fried to golden perfection. In poorer homes, a simple meal of baked potato and a glass of sour milk was a daily staple. During wartime or famine, that might have been breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Potatoes made their way into bread dough to stretch scarce flour supplies. They were served sweet and savory. They formed dumplings, stews, rolls, and cakes. Slovak women, masters of ingenuity, used every trick to turn the humble spud into something satisfying, hearty, and loved. And the healing powers, also legendary. Raw potato slices cooled fevers and soothed headaches. My grandmother used to tuck them into our socks when we were sick. Slices were even placed on wounds or swollen limbs to draw out infection. It may sound like folklore, but modern science now confirms that potatoes are anti-inflammatory and rich in potassium and vitamin C. Today, Slovakia still grows a variety of potatoes specialized for different uses, some for mashing, some for roasting, and others for making our iconic Christmas potato salad. So, next time you see a potato, plain, dusty, unassuming, remember, it once changed our country. It fed generations, moved borders, healed bodies, and helped define who we are. The Slovak potato isn't just a vegetable, it's heritage, it's identity, it's our second bread. Thank you for listening to the Slovak Kitchen. If this story inspired you to rediscover the tastes and traditions of your ancestors, explore our online course, Cook Like a Slovak, a journey into the deeper meaning of food, memory, and culture, because in every dish there's a story waiting to be told. Until next time, may your pan be hot, your potatoes golden, and your stories rooted deep.